This is a $100,000 SUV. It seats 7. It does 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds in its base form, and it might be the last chance you ever get one brand new, because Tesla has confirmed the Model X is being discontinued. So the question today isn't just, is the 2026 Model X a good car? The real question is it worth buying one of the last ones ever made? Let's find out. The big news: it's being discontinued. Let's address the elephant in the room immediately. In early 2026, Tesla officially announced it would cease production of both the Model S and the Model X next quarter, as the company pivots its focus towards robotics, autonomy, and the Cybercab platform. And then Tesla did something that is uniquely Tesla. Instead of discounting the remaining inventory to clear it out like every other automaker would, they raised the price by $15,000. The Model X now starts at $99,900 for the all-wheel drive. The Plaid sits at $114,990. Both prices currently include the Luxe Package, which bundles in full self-driving supervised, worth around $8,000 on its own. So the value math is complicated, but the point stands. Tesla is betting that scarcity sells, and historically, they've been right. The question is whether this car, at this price, with discontinuation on the horizon, is a smart buy or an emotional one. Design and those doors. The 2026 Model X looks virtually identical to what Tesla launched back in 2016. That fastback profile, that panoramic windshield, those falcon-wing rear doors. And whether you love them or hate them, those doors are still the most talked about feature on any SUV on sale today. Here's the honest truth about the falcon-wing doors after a decade in the market. In tight parking lots, loading car seats, strollers, or getting elderly passengers in and out, they're genuinely brilliant. Better than any conventional door. The downsides are also real. They can be finicky in heavy rain or snow. If the sensors get confused, they'll stop mid-open. And when they need repair, the parts aren't cheap and they aren't fast to source. Inside, the cabin is still Tesla's signature minimalism, centered around a 17-inch portrait touchscreen that controls everything from climate to mirrors to the glove box. No CarPlay, no Android Auto. Tesla's ecosystem, full stop. The vast panoramic windshield is a known weak point. It lets in significant heat and sun on warm days, and no amount of tinting fully solves it. It's a genuine comfort issue on long summer drives that Tesla still hasn't fully addressed. New for 2026, upgraded ambient lighting, improved interior materials, and over-the-air updates that have refined the software, safety features, and infotainment interface. No major redesign, but noticeably more polished than the same car from 3 years ago. Performance. Let's talk numbers. The base Model X all-wheel drive, 2 motors, 670 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, in a 3-row family SUV that weighs over 5,000 pounds. 3.8 seconds. Car and Driver's instrumented testing clocked the base model at 3.6 seconds in real conditions, even faster than the official figure. The instant torque delivery makes overtaking and merging stress-free in a way that no combustion SUV at this price can match. Then there's the Plaid. 3 motors, 1,020 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, in an SUV with 3 rows that seats 7 people. The Plaid pushes the Model X into supercar territory. It will embarrass most sports cars while carrying a full load of passengers. But here's my honest opinion. For 95% of families, the base all-wheel drive is the smarter buy. It's faster than anything you'll ever need, it's quieter on the highway, and it's significantly cheaper to insure. The Plaid is a spectacular machine. It's also largely ego. Fun ego, but ego. Handling is better than you'd expect from a vehicle this size. The low center of gravity and adaptive air suspension, offering up to 8.9 inches of ground clearance, keep body roll in check and the ride composed. Regenerative braking is strong enough that you'll rarely touch the brake pedal in city traffic, and the steering is genuinely nimble. The Model X doesn't drive like it's the size it actually is. Range and charging. The base all-wheel drive is rated at up to 352 miles on the EPA cycle. The Plaid drops slightly to 335 miles, a small sacrifice for the additional motor. 352 miles in a 3-row family SUV is class-leading. Full stop. Nothing else in this segment gets close on range. And the charging story is where Tesla still holds an advantage over every competitor, the Supercharger network. You can add up to 200 miles of range in about 15 minutes at a V3 or V4 supercharger station. No other charging network, Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, comes close to the reliability and speed of Tesla's own infrastructure. This matters enormously for a family vehicle. The Rivian R1S is a brilliant off-road machine. The Lucid Gravity has breathtaking range, but neither has a charging network that can match what Tesla has built over a decade. For long-distance family travel, the Model X plus Supercharger network is still the most stress-free EV road trip combination available. Practicality. This is where the Model X earns its price tag for families. Maximum cargo capacity exceeds 94 cubic feet, more than enough for a week's worth of luggage plus the dog. The frunk adds usable storage up front. The middle row slides forward with one hand for third row access, and the third row, which was genuinely uncomfortable in earlier generations, has been improved enough that it's now acceptable for shorter adults and fine for kids. The Model X can be configured with 5, 6, or 7 seats. 5-seat configuration gives you the most cargo room and the most comfortable experience for all passengers. 6 gives you the middle row captain's chairs layout. 7 squeezes in a full bench, workable for families with young children. Towing capacity is 5,000 pounds, enough for a boat or a moderate trailer. Not a heavy-duty hauler, but capable.
The real question, is it worth it? So, the real question, $100,000. Discontinuation announced. Is the 2026 Tesla Model X worth buying? Here's my honest take. KBB estimates the 5-year cost to own at $116,199, with roughly $56,781 in depreciation over 5 years, leaving a residual value of around $34,849. That is steep depreciation, and the discontinuation announcement means the used market will get more complex over time. Parts availability, service support, and software update longevity all become real questions when a model is no longer in production. On the other hand, Tesla has committed to supporting existing vehicles with over-the-air updates even after production ends. The 8-year, 120,000-mile battery and drivetrain warranty still applies, and the Supercharger network isn't going anywhere. The competition is real. The Rivian R1S offers more off-road capability and a genuinely premium interior. The Lucid Gravity matches or exceeds Model X range. The real question, is it worth it? So, the real question, $100,000, discontinuation announced. Is the 2026 Tesla Model X worth buying? Here's my honest take. KBB estimates the 5-year cost to own at $116,199, with roughly $56,781 in depreciation over 5 years, leaving a residual value of around $34,849. That is steep depreciation, and the discontinuation announcement means the used market will get more complex over time. Parts availability, service support, and software update longevity all become real questions when a model is no longer in production. On the other hand, Tesla has committed to supporting existing vehicles with over-the-air updates even after production ends. The 8-year, 120,000-mile battery and drivetrain warranty still applies, and the Supercharger network isn't going anywhere. The competition is real. The Rivian R1S offers more off-road capability and a genuinely premium interior. The Lucid Gravity matches or exceeds Model X range. The Kia EV9 gives you a solid 3-row EV for around $65,000, $35,000 less than the Model X base. But none of them give you falcon-wing doors. None of them give you 352 miles of range and 3.8-second acceleration and the Supercharger network and over-the-air updates in a single package. The Model X is still the only car that does all of those things together. Owner sentiment backs this up. KBB reports a 4.6 out of 5 owner rating, with 85% recommending it. These are people who actually live with the car day to day, and despite the price, despite the heat through that windshield. Despite the quirky doors, they love it. If you need a 3-row luxury EV, you charge at home, and you road trip on Superchargers, the 2026 Tesla Model X is still the best all-round package in the segment. Nothing else combines range, performance, practicality, and charging infrastructure the way it does. The $100,000 starting price is real money. The depreciation is steep, and once production ends, you're on your own for parts in ways you won't be with a Rivian or a Kia. But if this is your budget, and this is the kind of car you want, buy the AWD, skip the Plaid, and lock in your FSD before the price moves again. Because when the last Model X rolls off the Giga Texas line, the price of a good used one is only going one direction. That's the 2026 Tesla Model X, one of the last. If you want to see how it stacks up against the Rivian R1S, I've got that comparison linked right here. Subscribe for weekly EV and Tesla content, and I'll see you in the next one.